Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to go over all of the new Winternational release cards. We got 12 new ones, including a few biggies, so we're going to break all those cards down like we do as usual. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for daily NHL content. All right, guys, let's get into today's release. All right, we will start with the 84 Ben. Man, I'm going to say this wrong. Ben BOWNS, 6'2", 212. Here's the thing. He's got 2 to spark, which makes him extremely interesting for backup goaltender duties if you're trying to activate multiple synergies. So that makes him pretty valuable in that sense. Outside of that, in terms of stats, while he does have good aggression under 73, his glove high is 83 right now, and with shot totals and accuracies above 90, not something you really want to dabble in. So while he's got a great synergy, I wouldn't really start him, but I'm curious to see what you can do with that synergy to spark. Then we've got the 84 Marco Insim from Italy, 6'2" with 2 to balance. Again, not one you're going to look to activate, but it is nice that we're starting to see multiple to other synergies. 84 speed across the board with 93 agility, and then his shot in the mid-80s, which isn't terrible as well. He's actually a pretty well-rounded card for a winger, but not one that's going to give you a lot of benefit, because if you're looking for a card in this overall range, you probably want someone that has speedster or howitzer, to boost their stats, and balance isn't going to be it. So next up, we've got the 85 Dean KUKAN from Switzerland, 6'2" with 2 to barrage. Again, not a synergy that you're looking to activate a ton of, but 85 overall with 84 speed, acceleration, 88 agility, as well as 89 balance and endurance, which isn't bad. His slap shot, 89 power with 80 agility is okay. With barrage, it's actually not that bad at all. Defensively, he's got 87 stick checking, 84 defensive awareness, and 87 body checking on a 6'2" frame. This actually isn't a bad left defenseman card, even if you're just a free-to-play team or you're looking for a lower tier one that isn't a master set guy. This might actually be a half decent one to go out and try. But just 2 to barrage, again, it's very, very difficult to activate distributor and spark, or distributor and swarm, and not activate barrage. So kind of useless in that sense. Then we've got the 85 overall Radko Gudas, 6 foot with 93 body checking. Howitzer does save this card because obviously he's a lot slower, but 84 agility before distributor. His shot power gets up to 93 on the slap shot. And defensively, he's very good. 89 stick checking, 88 defensive awareness, and 93 body checking. The issue is that there's so many good cards that already have howitzer that having 2 on 1 isn't really as valuable as, say, having 2 to workhorse, that kind of thing. However, this is a very good defensive card. I'd want to see him to be a bit bigger, just because, again, while he's got good body checking, height really dictates a lot of the balance and bumping people off the puck, and considering he only has 84 speed before distributor, you need to have that synergy activated, and then even then, he's got to be paired with someone fast. Following that, we've got the 85 DOMINIK BOKK with 6'1" with the 2 to wingman synergy. Now, this, again, is kind of interesting because there's a few high-end cards that have wingman. Even just off the top of my head, like the Akil Thomas and Jerome Ginla, those cards both have wingman, and I believe the 92 Marian Gaborik, if I'm remembering correctly. And again, anything that helps out acceleration and speed is very good. And then wrist shot accuracy getting up to 83 as well. So that does have value. 85 speed, you want to see that be a little bit higher if you're going to... actually, sorry, at center, he's actually okay. The 81 face-offs, though, not going to be a centerman for you. He's going to be a winger. 85 speed is kind of on the low end. If you have distributor, though, 88 is fine. So again, I think this is a good complementary card. If you are trying to activate wingman on a couple of your other high-end ones, this might actually be a decent one, because that's something that I'm going to start talking about, is that while all you do so far is you focus on distributor. So you get your team, you start your team, you get everyone to have speedster and howitzer and that kind of thing until you start, looking at distributor. Once you have distributor, then you look for spark or swarm, whatever one you can afford. And then after that, once you have spark, swarm, distributor activated, then it's about the other one. So speedster and howitzer are very easy because a lot of the high-end cards have it. But then there's some other great cards that would be great if you could actually activate their synergy. And wingman is a good one because it does impact acceleration. So keep an eye out. This might actually have some value to you. Following in, we've got the 85 Oliver Bjorkstrand, 88 speed, acceleration, 91 agility. It's going to be a winger card for you with 2 to magician, which again isn't that bad, but a lot of the higher end cards actually have magician. There's quite a few that have it. 88, 85 wrist shot accuracy, 88 power. This is actually just a good base winger card to have if you're looking for a cheaper right-handed winger card. This one is a decent go out and get. And then magician, again, Not a super impactful one, but a lot of high-end cards already have it, so it's not like it's a bad thing by any means. So Not a bad card for anyone looking to get a right-handed winger card. This is kind of a good build for the meta. Then we've got the 86 overall, all Oli Mata, 6'2", with 2 to passing playmaker. Again, passing playmaker, not a very good one. Just, again, slap shot accuracy and passing, kind of all over the place. Stick checking is nice. It's just not, it's outside of like the top 3 or 4, in my opinion. 86 speed is fine. Same with acceleration. His shot is actually pretty good. And I guess with passing playmaker on, it makes his shot that much better. 89 power, 86 accuracy. This is just a good left-handed defenseman card. There isn't a ton of them that are, interesting in that middle range outside of the master set guys. So if you are looking for a left defenseman, this could be a decent option. The only cards off the top of my head that I really have valued passing playmaker, I believe the 89 Panarin. I can't remember off the top of my head. I think so, as well as Howie Morenz. With Howie Morenz with distributor activated as well as passing playmaker could be real interesting. We've got the 86 Oskar Lindblom, 6'1", with the speeds 2 to speedster synergy. Now again, this is a lot like the Howitzer one. So speedster, it's pretty easy to activate, especially at the high end, because it's a synergy you need to have on, because if you have Heiskanen or if you have Lafleur specifically, it makes them the best cards in the game, essentially. It's specifically talking to Lafleur. So Speedster is something that you need to have activated if you have that card. But having 2 to it is kind of overkill because there's a lot of other great cards that have it. Koivu has it, Brock Besser has it, just off the top of my head. So this Speedster does save this card because he is a pure winger. It makes him really slow without it. But, kind of gets over the hump. I'm not a huge fan of this card, but it isn't bad by any means. If you have distributor on, makes it 89 speed, which is great, obviously. And then the wrist shot hitting 91 power is good as well. It's just doesn't do enough to be great, and 2 to this synergy is not necessarily needed. Following him, we've got the 87 JT Miller with 2 to light the lamp. And again, light the lamp is an interesting one because obviously, one of the best cards in the game that has no good synergy boost is Gretzky. And if you have the 91 Gretz specifically, you already have 2 to light the lamp. So while light the lamp isn't necessarily a very, very good synergy, having 2 to it, obviously just having these 2 cards alone will activate it for you, which obviously then making one of the higher end cards even that much better. But it's not a priority. It's just something to think about. 86 speed, acceleration, 85 isn't bad. And then 87 power, 891 accuracy on the wrist shot, which is good. Just an all-around okay card for JT Miller. Body checking 87 on a 6'1" guy is also very good. So keep that in mind. But again, it's an interesting combo, especially if you think about the 892 McKinnon as well, who gets light the lamp. You could activate the synergy pretty easily. Then we've got the 89 Carey Price, 6'3", with 2 to swarm. Again, making him very useful in the synergy department. And he's got a pretty good build. Carey Price cards are always some of the best in the game. He does have 82 aggression, which 80 was the cutoff last year, but in the low 80s is fine. 88 glove high. Very, very good card. All of his stats, he's in that kind of great build range in between 6 foot and 6'4" is where probably you're going to want to sit because the higher up, the taller guys will have some of their attributes capped. So that's kind of tough, but a good synergy combo with 2 to swarm, and then this is a very, very good build. I would rather have the Bobrovsky, the 92 Bobrovsky. I've used him. He's very, very good. So just keep that in mind. Again, I would not go out and get a goaltender that's going to cost you a couple $100,000 unless you are already hut rich, guys. It is far more important to have a good forward group and a couple of good defensemen before you think about a goaltender of this cost. But nonetheless, he does look to be a very, very good one, just based on attributes. And finally, we've got the 90 overall Alex Ovechkin, and a synergy I've talked a lot about, 2 to Workhorse, an extremely good synergy, and probably my third favorite one behind Speedster and Howitzer. 2 to Workhorse makes this interesting because now you've got a great high-end card that's got, obviously 2 to the synergy. Plus distributor on this one would get him up to 89 speed, which is fine. Acceleration would get even higher if you have Spark. And again, I'm thinking about the higher end teams, but his shot is all about 94 and above, which is fantastic. I'm thinking this might be the first really usable and effective Alex Ovechkin card because we just haven't had any yet. He's been a really rough build in this game, just based on how it plays. Like he's always going to feel a little bit slower. He's 235 pounds and 6'3", with kind of crap skating stats. But if you're able to get Workhorse activated on a couple of other great cards as well. Again, I mentioned this number of times. I'm really curious to try out that Colton Parayko because I think he might be one of the best defensemen if you can get all of the synergies activated on it. This would go a long way. Again, it sucks that he doesn't have a team-based synergy, But 2 to Workhorse is very effective because now you basically only need 1 or 2 other cards that have it, and you get a very good synergy that on top of Spark would make him very, very quick off the hop. And then obviously you get Distributor and his balance being... Balance is a really underrated one that a lot of people don't think about. Balance is what dictates you being able to hold onto the puck and control it while getting bumped. And, you know, you could have a smaller player that has really high balance, and it's hard to knock them off the puck. And the guys that have higher end balance, if they're big as well, they can hold on to it forever. So those are the kind of elite cards in the offensive and defensive zone. But keep that in mind, guys. So that is a fantastic release today, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments section down below, and I'll see you next time.